You know, there's something they don't tell you when you're touring those beautiful assisted living facilities, the ones with the cozy common areas, the smiling staff, and the brochures that make it all look like a permanent vacation. It's easy to get swept up in the promise of carefree living, especially when you're at a stage in life where you just want peace of mind. But here's the hard truth, my friend, not everything is as it seems. Before you, or someone you love, signs that contract, there are things you need to know. Things they won't always tell you up front. And once you're locked in, it can be incredibly difficult, and expensive, to change your mind. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to talk about the 5 biggest lies that assisted living facilities tell seniors and their families. Because you deserve to make this decision with your eyes wide open. But before we dive into this important topic, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and comment below telling me where you're watching from. I love connecting with all of you from around the world, so now let's begin. Now, let's start with the first lie, and this one's a doozy. Lie number 1, this is a one-time cost, no surprises. Oh, how many times have families heard this? You sit down with the friendly sales representative, and they give you a neat little number, the monthly fee. It sounds manageable, maybe even a little reassuring. But here's what they're not telling you, that number is just the starting point. Assisted living facilities are masters of the à la carte pricing model. Need help with medication? That's an extra fee. A little assistance getting dressed in the morning? Another charge. Forgetfulness setting in and you need someone to check on you more often? You guessed it, more money. Before you know it, that affordable monthly rate has ballooned by hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars. And here's the worst part, they often won't give you a clear breakdown of these costs up front. They'll say things like, we'll assess your needs later, or, don't worry, we'll only charge for what you use. But what happens when those needs change? Because they will. Aging isn't a static process, it's unpredictable. And that means your bill can skyrocket with very little warning. So what can you do? First, ask for a detailed list of every possible add-on fee before you sign anything. Demand it in writing. If they hesitate or give vague answers, that's a red flag. Second, assume your costs will go up over time, plan for it financially. And third, consider whether there are other options, like home care or community-based services, that might give you more control over your expenses. Now, let's move on to the second lie, and this one hurts just as much. Lie number 2, our staff is available 24/7 to meet all your needs. This sounds comforting, doesn't it? The idea that no matter what time of day or night, someone will be there to help you. But here's the reality, available doesn't always mean immediately available. Many facilities operate with skeleton crews, especially overnight. There might only be 1 or 2 aides responsible for dozens of residents. So if you need help getting to the bathroom at 2 a.m., you could be waiting, sometimes for a long time. And if an emergency happens? Well, let's just say response times aren't always what they should be. And it's not just about staffing numbers, it's about turnover. These jobs are tough, often underpaid, and burnout is high. That means the friendly face you met on the tour might be gone in a few months, replaced by someone new who doesn't yet know your routine or your needs. So how do you protect yourself? When you tour a facility, ask specific questions about staff-to-resident ratios, not just during the day, but at night. Ask how long their average employee stays. And if possible, talk to current residents and their families. They'll give you the real story about how responsive the staff truly is. Because here's the thing, when you're relying on others for your basic needs, delays and shortages aren't just inconveniences, they can be dangerous. And you deserve better than that. You've probably heard this line before, it'll feel just like home. And why wouldn't you believe it? The dining rooms look inviting, the activities calendar seems packed with fun, and the apartments are cozy enough. But here's the uncomfortable truth: assisted living facilities aren't your home. And the moment you forget that, they'll remind you. Lie number 3: you'll have all the independence and freedom you're used to. This one stings because it plays right into our deepest desire, to stay in control of our own lives. But the reality? These places have rules. Lots of them. And some of them might surprise you. Want to have family over for dinner in your room? Some facilities require advance notice, or even charge a fee for guest meals. Feel like sleeping in instead of going to the scheduled breakfast? You might get a knock on your door from a well-meaning, but insistent, staff member checking if you're okay. And if you thought you could come and go as you please? Think again. Many facilities have strict sign-out policies, especially if you have memory issues. They'll say it's for your safety, but it can feel an awful lot like being back in high school. And let's talk about privacy. That lovely little apartment you're shown on the tour? Staff will be entering it regularly, sometimes without much warning. Maintenance workers, cleaners, nurses doing wellness checks. It's not your space in the way your real home was. Some residents even report feeling like they're living in a fishbowl, with staff peeking in just to check multiple times a day. So what can you do? First, ask for the resident handbook before signing anything. That's where all the rules are buried. Second, talk to current residents, ask them how flexible the facility really is. And third, be honest with yourself. How much does independence matter to you? Because if it's non-negotiable, some places might feel more like a gentle prison than a home. Now, let's move on to a lie that's particularly cruel because it preys on fear. Lie number 4: you'll never have to move again. We provide continuum of care. This is the big selling point for a lot of places. Start in independent living, then transition to assisted living, and if you need it, we have memory care and skilled nursing right here. They make it sound so seamless, don't they? Like you'll be surrounded by familiar faces and places no matter what happens. But here's what they don't tell you: those transitions are brutal. That continuum often means packing up and moving to a completely different wing, or even a different building, with different staff, different rules, and a much higher price tag. And if your needs change suddenly, say, after a fall or a rapid cognitive decline, you might not get any say in when that move happens. Worse yet, some facilities don't actually have space available in their higher care units when you need them. So where do you go then? That's right, you're forced to leave altogether, scrambling to find a new place during a crisis. How do you protect yourself? First, ask for hard numbers. How many residents have had to leave this facility in the past year because you couldn't meet their needs? Second, get in writing exactly what health conditions would force a move. And third, this is crucial, have a backup plan. Because betting your future on a brochure promise is just too risky. You've made it this far, and I know this isn't easy to hear. But we need to talk about the most dangerous lie of all, the one that keeps families from asking tough questions until it's too late. Lie number 5: don't worry, the contract is just standard paperwork. Oh, how I wish this were true. But here's what that friendly admissions coordinator won't tell you while sliding that thick stack of papers across the table: these contracts are designed to protect the facility, not you. Buried in all that legalese are clauses that could cost you your life savings, or even put your care at risk. Let me give you 3 shocking examples. 1. The 30-day eviction clause. Many contracts allow facilities to discharge residents with just 30 days notice for vague reasons like, "We can no longer meet your needs." Imagine getting that notice after your dementia has progressed beyond what they'll handle. Where do you go? 2. The "your money is our money" trap. Some facilities require you to spend down your assets to a certain level before Medicaid kicks in, but don't clearly explain how fast that might happen with all their add-on fees. 3. The no accountability clause. Ever notice how contracts rarely specify staff-to-patient ratios or response time guarantees? That's not an accident. A woman in Ohio told me her mother's facility charged $175 every time staff helped her up after a fall, then threatened discharge when the family complained about the 45-minute wait times for help. That's in the contract they'd signed without an attorney. Here's what you must do before signing anything. 1. Demand the full contract 72 hours before signing. Many states require this by law. 2. Pay an elder law attorney, $300 to $500, to review it. This is cheaper than 1 month's surprise fees. 3. Film your tour. If they promise something not in writing, "Oh, we'd never discharge someone for that," get it on video. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I need help now. What choice do I have? That brings me to the most important message of all. You have more power than they want you to know. Remember, facilities need residents more than you need them. Empty beds cost money. Everything is negotiable, from fees to care plans. There are alternatives: home care co-ops, village networks, even moving abroad. A couple in Florida told their facility they were considering a retirement community in Costa Rica. Suddenly their non-negotiable fees dropped by 20% and they got a written guarantee on care levels. Here's your action plan this week. 1. If you're considering a facility, request their latest state inspection report. It's public record. 2. Visit unannounced on a weekend evening. That's when staffing is lowest. 3. Ask current families, what do you wish you'd known before signing? This isn't about scaring you, it's about arming you. Because when you know the game, you can change the rules. Finally, we'll dive into the specific questions you should ask on tours that will make administrators sweat, in a good way. But for now, I'd love to hear, have you or a loved one encountered these contract surprises? Share in the comments so we can all learn together. And if this resonated with you, be sure to like and share, because no senior should walk into this decision unprepared. Here's to making choices with eyes wide open, and to golden years lived on your own terms. You know what really makes my blood boil? Hearing stories about seniors getting taken advantage of simply because they didn't know they could push back. Well, today we're changing that narrative. Let me tell you about Martha, an 82-year-old from Tennessee who just last month got her assisted living facility to remove $1,200 in unfair charges, simply because she knew the right words to say. Most people don't realize that everything in these contracts is negotiable. The monthly rate? Negotiable. The level of care included? Negotiable. Even the move-in fee, you guessed it, negotiable. Here's how Martha did it. 1. She waited until the 25th of the month, when facilities are desperate to fill empty beds to meet monthly quotas. 2. She had her daughter casually mention they were considering 2 other communities. 3. She asked for specific items to be added to her contract in exchange for signing that day. The result? Free medication management for a year and guaranteed rate lock for 3 years. 3 phrases that get results. 1. My attorney suggested we clarify. 2. Can you show me where that's in the contract? 3. I'd feel more comfortable if we could put that in writing. Ask for their a la carte pricing sheet. Every facility has one, but they'll rarely offer it. This document shows every possible charge they could ever hit you with. When you see it in black and white, suddenly those small occasional fees add up to thousands. A gentleman in Arizona used this to negotiate a cap on his wife's monthly ancillary charges. Instead of unlimited add-ons, he pays one flat rate no matter what services she needs. When to walk away. There's one absolute deal breaker I want you to watch for: if they refuse to let you take the contract home to review. Any facility that says, "We need to sign today," is hiding something. As my friend who's a long-term care ombudsman says, the best facilities know their contracts can stand up to scrutiny. In our final segment, we'll reveal some surprising alternatives to traditional assisted living, including one option that costs 60% less but provides better care. But in the meantime, I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever negotiated with a senior living community? What worked or didn't work? Your experience could help someone else avoid a costly mistake. You know what they never show in those glossy brochures? The senior who traded her overpriced assisted living apartment for a vibrant co-housing community where she has real friendships and control over her care. Or the retired teacher who cut his costs by 70% by moving to a naturally occurring retirement community with on-site services. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on options they don't want you to know about. 1. The village movement. Imagine having neighbors who check in on you, volunteers who drive you to appointments, and vetted home care aides, all for about $100 per month. That's the reality for members of villages like Beacon Hill in Boston. These member-driven networks are revolutionizing aging in place. 2. Co-housing communities. Picture a neighborhood designed by seniors, for seniors, with private homes but shared meals and activities. At Silver Sage in Colorado, residents saved $3,000 per month compared to assisted living while getting better quality care from their personally hired aides. 3. House sharing programs. New matching services like Silvernest are helping seniors find compatible housemates. One 78-year-old widow told me she cut her housing costs in half while gaining companionship and built-in security. The international option. While researching this, I discovered something astonishing. In places like Portugal and Mexico, American seniors are getting better care for less money. A couple in Chapala, Mexico pays $1,800 per month for a full-time live-in caregiver, chef, and beautiful home, less than half what their Florida facility charged. Your action plan starts today. 1. Take the power back. Request your state's long-term care ombudsman report on any facility you're considering. Join the Facebook group Alternatives to Assisted Living, 25,000 members sharing real experiences. Contact your local area agency on aging about hidden local programs. 2. Reframe your thinking. The best decision Martha ever made? Telling that pushy salesperson, "I'm not buying a facility, I'm choosing how I want to live my life." That shift in perspective changed everything. They want you to believe your only options are struggling alone at home or surrendering to institutional care. But the truth is, you have more choices than ever before. It's time we stop accepting the broken system and start creating the lives we actually want to live. So tell me in the comments, which of these alternatives surprised you most? And if you found this series helpful, pay it forward by sharing it with one person who might need to hear it. Because when we share knowledge, we give each other power. Here's to writing your next chapter, on your own terms.